Oktoberfest is right around the corner, so today we're making Bavarian pretzels with a delicious beer cheese dip.
Okay, we'll start by adding 500 grams of flour into the bowl of our stand mixer. Then we'll add 1 packet of instant yeast and 10 grams of salt. Give that a mix with your hands until well combined. Next, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of molasses. Followed by 1 bottle of your favorite German beer. Place the bowl in your stand mixer and begin mixing on low speed. We're going to mix this until the wet and the dry ingredients come together. Next, we're going to add 50 grams of softened butter. I have the butter cut into smaller pieces. Add a piece. Once it's fully mixed in, add the next piece of butter, and you're going to continue until all the butter is incorporated into the dough. After the last piece of butter is added to the mixer and is incorporated into the dough, we're going to turn the mixer to medium-high speed, and we're going to knead the dough for about 7 to 10 minutes. The dough is done when it begins to clear the sides of the bowl and it has a nice sheen on it. Next, we're going to turn the dough out onto a lightly floured surface. And then we're going to work the dough and form it into a tight ball. Move the dough back to the bowl of the stand mixer. Then we're going to cover it with plastic wrap and let it rest for 1 hour. After an hour, you can see our dough has risen. Go ahead and poke the dough to degas it and get out all the air bubbles. Gently turn the dough out onto your work surface, and then we're going to divide it. Next, we're going to divide the dough into 8 equal pieces. Each piece should be about 110 grams. Next, we're going to take our pieces of dough and we're going to flatten them into a rectangle. Starting at the top end, we're going to roll the dough onto itself, pressing the seams in as we go until we form a log. Continue this process with your remaining dough balls. Cover your dough logs with another cookie sheet and we're going to rest it for 15 minutes. Now it's time to turn these dough logs into something that looks like a pretzel. Beginning at the center, use your hands to roll the dough into a long rope. Apply equal pressure to both hands as you move them out. The center of the dough is going to be a little bit thicker than the ends. The ends are going to be tapered out. You want to roll the dough out to about 20 to 22 inches. Once you have the desired length, make a U out of the dough. Then we're going to cross the ends, and then cross them again, and bring the tips back down to the bottom, and then press them firmly into the dough. Look at that. We got ourselves a pretzel. Here, I'll show you one more time. We're going to roll the dough out into a long rope. We want to apply equal pressure to both ends as we roll out leaving the center a little bit bigger than the rest. The ends are going to be tapered. Next, form a U, cross it again, bring down to the bottom, press, stretch out the loops, and we got ourselves a nice looking pretzel. Once you form your pretzels, cover them with kitchen towels and let them rest for 10 minutes. Then we'll move them to the fridge for 1 hour so they can firm up. While our pretzels are in the fridge, we can get going on our beer cheese. In a medium saucepan over medium heat, add a 1/4 cup of butter and stir until melted. Once the butter is melted, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of flour. I like to add a little bit of flour at a time and then mixing until it's well combined. After all the flour is added, we're going to cook out the raw flour taste for about 1 to 2 minutes. Next, we're going to add 1 bottle of German beer. Stir that up until it's well combined. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of a grainy Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of Worcester sauce, and a generous pinch of salt and pepper. Give that a good mix and bring to a simmer. Next, we're going to add our cheese. In a bowl, I have pre-combined 8 ounces of Gruyere and 8 ounces of sharp cheddar. Only adding a handful at a time, whisk the cheese into the sauce until well combined. Once the cheese is melted, add another big handful. We're going to continue this process until all the cheese is added and is melted. If it starts to get a little too thick, you can switch to a spoon. We're going to stir the cheese until it's fully melted and is nice and creamy. After our pretzels are done in the fridge, we can begin our soda bath. Get 2 quarts of water and then add 1 cup of baking soda. Stir to combine, and then we're going to bring it to a boil. Once at a boil, we're going to lower the heat to low. Then using a spider, we're going to add the pretzels to the soda bath for about 20 to 25 seconds. You want to keep dunking the pretzels in so that all sides get covered with the water. After bath time is over, remove the pretzel to your prepared sheet. After all the pretzels have had their bath, we're going to baste them one last time with the soda water. This extra moisture is going to help the salt to stick when we add it. Next, we're going to add a generous amount of coarse salt to each pretzel. Then using a sharp knife, score the belly of each pretzel. Once the pretzels have been scored, we're going to put them into an oven that's been preheated at 425 for 15 to 20 minutes until nice and golden brown. These pretzels are a great way to celebrate Oktoberfest, or any occasion for that matter. Just look at my taste tester. I think she approves.